Hi everyone, you have just seen Kratt by Rasmus Merivoo, and you might still be reeling from the impact, but we're here with Rasmus himself to talk you through processing the movie and give a little bit of insight into the making of. So hi, welcome, thank you for being here with us.
Great for inviting.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
So this film just really kind of hit me in the face when I saw it, and it leaves you a little confused. Like, is it a children's film? Is it a comedy? Is it a thriller? Is it important for you to think in terms of those genres?
I think the most important thing in filmmaking for me is to get the film right, and after that think about what shelves to put it in. I don't like it to do it the other way around, that you think of a genre and then you fill it with all this, because I think that a movie should be something that will get you out of your own reality, and if you know already what happens in the film. Sometimes in genre movies and that type of movies that are really like based on really, I don't know.
Like a formula.
Yeah, like a formula. Then you sometimes already know what happens, but it's always more fun if you don't.
Mm-hmm. So if you didn't start with the genre, what did you start with?
I started with this idea that there's this old story about Kratt that everybody in Estonia knows. Maybe not the children anymore, because everything changes all the time, and the old stories are maybe forgotten more nowadays. But for me, the most important was the idea that if you take this old story and put it in this world of today, then it makes like a new story. Because right now the tools that you use to make this monster, right now we are so surrounded by tools and we are so dependent on tools, and I felt that there is like a secret or old message that I should just bring it to this modern world.
So I only learned about what the Kratt is from another Estonian movie, actually, from November. But so you said that it's very familiar, it's a part of folklore and...
Yeah, it is familiar, but it's always been told as a story from the past. But it hasn't been told in this modern way. So I felt that it would be a good idea. Yeah.
And people usually say, don't work with children and animals.
Yeah.
I love not only that, but they're your own children.
Yeah, don't work with your own children.
So yeah, when did you get that? Have you worked with children before, and why did you want to cast your...
I actually like working with children for some reason. I like that they are not professional yet. I mean, in the sense that they don't have like these formulas how to do things. Of course they play and stuff like that, but movie is that something that you do like parts, and you can have I like children, and my own children also very much.
And this that's good to hear. And this the gory parts of the film, sometimes you're like, oh, is this appropriate for children? Like, were you ever worried about that, or?
Of course, I thought about it, but I didn't want to do a children's film. I didn't want it to be Disney or stuff like that. I wanted to be a story that has children's in it. And for me, the most important thing was not to have self-censorship and be true to these characters. And if the character is saying like, curse words, it's not because I want to, shock anybody, or I want to, but it's like, what would this character say in a situation like that? And of course, the children are also in this movie because the story is not, it is a dangerous story. And if you have children in a dangerous story, it becomes more dangerous. And it feels like the children of today are inside of this really dangerous story. And even if we as adults, we try to pamper it and we say that everything is fine, but they're still living in the same world as we.
Right.
and also with the tools and everything, you know, everybody, the children of today have their smartphones, but not all of them. Some of the children are working in the mines to get, you know,
the metals to make the smartphones.
Yes,
Yeah.
to make the smartphones, and so I felt that, you know, it is not accurate or true to make this story the way that, you know, maybe Disney would do it. I felt that, you know, the story needs to be told a little bit more edgy, maybe.
And there is also some politics in the film as well. And how important or how deliberate was that for you? Like with the countryside versus city, the EU flag. I thought that was also one of the funniest scenes. But so what? Yeah, what did?
It is all connected to this Kratt character because you know Kratt is a tool, something that made out of tools, and if you don't give it work, it will, you know, break your neck. And there are tools that are not like this basic, you know, wrenches and stuff like that. You know, religion is also a tool, and in politics, it's very, you know, easy to sell your soul and become the Kratt character, and that's what I wanted to do. And also, when I wrote the story, I based it on this small town where I live. I wanted to find all the characters, the Kratt characters that are there, and all these, you know, stories that are connected. And so it's very personal in some levels, but I don't think it will, you know, work against the film. I think it makes it better.
So yeah, tell me about the village where you filmed it.
Yeah, it is called Kuusalu, but in the movie we changed it to Muusalu. So it's like an Estonian way. Kuusalu means moon grow, but if you change one letter, it becomes the other place. Muusalu, it's the other moon grow.
Okay.
So it's like a wordplay, and it was very much cheaper to only change one letter of the place.
Like on the signs and.
Yeah. So we had some really fun with it. We changed all the first letters of everything because I could not say this is happening in my town where I live because it's not. It is still a story and I invented it. But it needs to have like a place, and I felt that, you know, this is it.
And you said you kind of mined the characters from what you've seen and experienced.
Yeah.
And then can you talk about the main actress, Mari-Lill?
Mari-Lill, yes.
She might be familiar to Estonian audiences, but not.
Yeah, and I met her once in a TV series set, and I really liked her. And she has been known in Estonia to play a small witch. I think it was in the 70s in children's show, and she is known for that. But she has never had a leading role. And I felt that, you know, this actress is so great that she needs to have a special role because she's a special actress. And she can be really lovely, but when she wants, you know, she can be very scary. So she was one of the inspirations to do this kind of thing. And when I wrote it, and I asked her, would you like to play in this movie where you should, you know, it goes a little bit over the top. And she got it immediately. And she was very good inspiration for me. Yeah, and I really like that she got the Estonian, you know, Oscar. I like to say.
For her role.
For the role,
yeah. Amazing.
And she got it, and everybody stood up, and they were clapping, and it felt that, oh, that's why I made this movie. That's good.
So people in Estonia reacted well to the film.
Yeah.
But it also went to, at least, I don't know about the other festivals, but Fantasia, which is a big genre festival in Canada. Were you surprised that the humor kind of translated?
You know, I can't say I'm surprised because I always hope. I always hope that it gets across, and you know, making movies is something that, you know, it is not the Estonian cultural thing, it is the worldwide cultural thing, and the movie language is universal. It's like mathematics, and if you have a plot, and if you have these turns, and if you plan things, and you do all this stuff, then, and if it's not only dialogue based, and if you have some physicality and jokes and humor, then of course I hope that it translates. And what but what I am surprised is that the level of this, details is something that I didn't know. In Estonia we have this problem that the forests are being cut really badly. The Kratt creatures, the harvesters, they're eating it, and it's not the people's fault who are doing it. But this is the problem of modern world, and it is something that every country thinks that okay, we can cut our forest, but then
Right.
somewhere else somebody is
Someone
protecting.
else's forest will,
Yeah, but like one woman from Hawaii wrote me that the same thing is happening in Hawaii, and they're using also the smartphones to, and social media to get attention and fight them. And I think that what is really interesting is that maybe this way we understand more that we're a small planet, and we're doing it everywhere, and maybe it will help a little bit of understanding that maybe it's not a good idea.
And so, you mentioned the smartphones and everything, and obviously that's a very visible part of the film. Do you have any, do you think that criticizing smartphones and technology for children especially, is that exaggerated? So, like, how do you talk to your own children about it? And
yeah, it's one thing also what I wanted to do in this film is I didn't want to blame anybody. I didn't want to do a film where there is good and there is bad, and the good wins usually. And this is something that's not right. That's not what is. So I wanted to do a film where every character is good, but what happens is this weird clusterfuck or whatever you can call it. And also the smartphones is something that there are characters in this movie who are using the smartphones and they feel like we are connected now, like the nature is connected through fungi, and it is the same kind of thing, but at the same time it's also another thing, and to find the balance, to understand the good part of it and the bad part of it is something that we cannot blame, but we have to understand it, and we have to make better choices maybe. And I understand that, kids today, growing up in this COVID thing, you have to be connected through, because you cannot be any other way. And it is a weird world, and
I think you did a good job of showing the kind of complexities, and it's not just black and white.
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah. I think that's a great note to end on.
Yes, let's end it.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, it was great.
And I'd also like to remind our audiences that after watching this, we have 11 other films you can watch until November 14th. So please check out the rest of our lineup as well. Thank you.